All right, welcome to The Explainer. So have you ever walked away from a conversation just kicking yourself, wishing you'd made a better impression? Well, today we are cracking open the secrets from Leil Lowndes' amazing book, How to Talk to Anyone. We're going to give you some really powerful techniques you can start using, like tonight.
So, we're basically going to follow the natural arc of any social situation, from the second you walk into a room all the way to building a real, genuine connection. And look, this isn't magic. It's a skill. A set of proven skills, actually, that can turn those super awkward moments into some seriously confident opportunities.
Okay, so first things first. Before a single word even comes out of your mouth, you are already saying so much. We've got to break down these silent signals because, honestly, they're the biggest piece of the puzzle when it comes to a first impression.
Yeah, you heard that right. Over 80%. Research shows that more than 80% of how someone first reacts to you has absolutely nothing to do with your words. It's all about your nonverbal stuff, your posture, how you move, just your general vibe. So let's make sure that huge chunk is working for you and not against you, right?
Just think of your posture as your own personal billboard. I mean, if you're slouching or hunched over, that billboard is basically screaming, "I'm feeling insecure, please don't talk to me." But when you stand tall, shoulders back, whoa, now that's a whole different message. It signals confidence, openness, pride. It's like a silent invitation that says, "Hey, come talk to me."
And how about this one? It's amazing how a tiny gesture can just build a giant wall. Crossing your arms. I mean, that's the classic, right? It's a defensive move. And whether you mean to do it or not, it sends a signal that you're closed off. It's like putting up an instant barrier right in the middle of a conversation.
Oh man, this next one is a total conversation killer. Seriously, just a quick peek at your watch or your phone, that sends such a powerful signal of boredom. You're basically telling the other person, yeah, I've got better things to do. And poof, a potentially great interaction is just over.
Okay, here's one that's super subtle but really crucial. Touching your face, especially around your nose or mouth. It's weird, but our brains often read that subconsciously as a sign of anxiety or maybe even that you're not being totally honest. So you can come across as nervous or untrustworthy, and you wouldn't even know you're doing it.
All right, so we've got your silent signals projecting pure confidence. Now, let's build on that foundation and talk about how to make a truly unforgettable first impression the second you walk through a door.
So instead of, rushing into a room and immediately looking for the safest corner to hide in, try this instead. Just stop, right at the doorway. Take a second and slowly scan the room, like you own it. Then, once you've got your bearings, move forward with purpose. It is such a small tweak, but it makes a massive difference in how people see you.
You know how a quick, flash-in-the-pan smile can feel kind of fake? Well, here's the secret. It's what the book calls the flooding smile. It's so simple. You just look at the person for a beat, pause, then you let a big, warm smile flood your face. That little delay, that's the magic. It makes the smile feel genuine, like it's just for them.
Okay, so you've nailed the silent impression, you've made a confident entrance, but now what? What do you actually say? Let's get into the nuts and bolts of not just starting, but keeping a great conversation going.
We all know the classic, "So, what do you do?" Right? It can feel like a job interview, and it kind of puts people in a box. But try this switch. Ask, "How do you spend most of your time?" It's brilliant. It's so much more inclusive. It invites people to talk about their passions, their hobbies, their family. You get a much better story out of it.
And the key when you're on the receiving end of a question is to never, ever give a one-word answer. Give them what the book calls a door opener. It's like a little hook that begs for a follow-up question. So instead of just saying, "I'm from DC," try something like, "I'm from Washington, DC, which was actually planned by the same person who planned Paris. Have you ever been to Europe?" See? You just turned a boring fact into a whole new path for the conversation.
All right, we've moved past the small talk. Now we're getting to the most important part, building a real, genuine connection. This is where you go from just chatting to actually creating powerful rapport.
And one of the biggest tools you have for this is something called an empathizer. Now, these aren't just your standard listening noises. They're actual phrases that show the other person, "Hey, I get it. I'm on the same emotional wavelength as you." So instead of just those little grunts we all do, like "uh-huh" or "yep," try using a full sentence. Something like, "I totally see what you mean," or "Wow, that was absolutely the right thing to do." It validates what they're saying, it makes them feel truly heard and understood, and that just encourages them to share even more.
There are also some cool ways to build rapport on a totally subconscious level. You can subtly mirror their posture or their movements. It creates this weird feeling of being in sync. Verbally, listen for their specific words. If they call their job a firm instead of a company, you use the word firm too. Use words like we and us. That creates an instant team vibe. And here's a great little mental trick. Just pretend they're already a close friend. It'll instantly relax your body language.
So let's take all these ideas and level them up. How do we adapt this stuff for a professional setting? How can we use it to communicate with more authority and actually help our careers?
Okay, to talk like a real VIP, you've got to respect people's time. That means getting straight to the point. Ditch the tired old cliches, they just make you sound like everyone else. And when you find something in common, resist the urge to shout, "Oh, me too." Just let it emerge naturally. It shows so much more poise. And maybe the most important rule of all, real leaders, real VIPs never, ever build themselves up by putting someone else down. Look, the ability to connect with anyone, it isn't some magic power you're born with. It's a skill. It's a set of tools. And we've just handed you the whole toolkit. So think about it. Your very next conversation is a totally blank slate. The only question is, how are you going to write it?